my most memorable moment working as a special educational needs teacher was working with a class focusing on literature. Now, one particular area that we were learning about that day was for the students to bring in some literature or a book or a magazine or something that they could relate to some degree, that they would read and then tell us what they understood from what was written. Now, of course, not everyone learns the same. So there was one student in particular, I'll call him Mark. Mark is a really bright young boy with autism. Now, Mark learns quite differently to everyone else in the classroom, of course. And Mark normally has a way or a creative spark about him. He loves learning with his hands or through his ears or really getting engaged into his education. So Mark sat aside from everyone else in the classroom, and I thought, what is the best way to engage this very young, intelligent man? What can I do? So I put on some music in the background because I know he loves music. He listens to it on the way to school, on the way home, during the lesson sometimes when it's allowed, of course. So I thought I'd use it as a tactical teaching move, just to play it in the background. So I played a song called Laura Branigan, Self-Control, which some of you might know. And in the corner, very softly, very quietly, but beautifully, I heard Mark singing towards the song for Laura Branigan's Self-Control. He really enjoyed it. He was carrying on saying the words. So I thought, right, this right now is the perfect teaching moment for me to see what it is he gets from it. So I walked over to Mark and I said, Mark, what do you think Laura Branigan means or says when she's saying about self-control? What do you take from that? Now at this point, Mark looks at me and he says, having self-control is like having no control. Control doesn't exist in me. Why would you want to control yourself? I just want to be free. Now, that line has stuck with me to this day. I'm very glad that I managed to hear it from that particular student, because for me, it opened up the doors to how I teach, how I taught. A great way to bring creativity to a student without having controlling restrictions within the classroom, and really differentiating for these fantastic and special children. And that is my most memorable point of education.